Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be reacting to a law and crime video by Jesse Weber. Now, take this in mind. We're talking about a mother who drowned her 2-year-old and shot her 9-year-old before turning herself in. Y'all, what is going on with these parents? There are so many parents killing their kids nowadays. I covered a lot of them so far. I see them like over and over. I'm just so confused. It's so weird. Why would you do that? Like, it's just nonstop. I wouldn't believe nothing this woman say. I'll tell you that before this. I don't care. You killed your kids. You're evil. You're evil in my book. I don't care. You should be put away for life. You really go death row. I just don't understand what's up with, like, these parents. Like, it's really shocking to see so many, like, parents kill their kids. Like, these are the people, the kids, these are kids. You birthed these kids. You raised these kids. Why are you doing this? So let's just go and react to it because it is like 20 minutes.
Horrific tragedy that spans 2 Missouri counties has a mom facing murder charges accused of killing her own young children. She turned herself into investigators this week, allegedly confessing to shooting her daughter and drowning her son. We're getting more details from Sheriff Dave Marshak. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, that this is another tough story to get through. A 36-year-old woman turned herself into the Jefferson County authorities out in Missouri on Tuesday. That's the allegation. And this is after an alleged murder spree. And who did she reportedly kill? Well, Ashley Parmalee apparently went to the Festus Police Department and told the officers there that she'd shot her daughter, identified as 9-year-old Scarlett Parmalee, and said the little girl was outside in her car. Officers rushed out to try to save her, but it was too late. According to court documents, she was in the trunk of the SUV. But it doesn't end there. No, because Parmalee also told officers that her son, 2-year-old Isaac, was also dead at another location. According to the probable cause statement, his body was found in the pool of a fountain at a resort. Authorities believe that this mother drowned her son. Parmalee now faces first-degree murder and armed criminal action charges in 2 different counties because of where each child died. And with respect to Isaac specifically, the charge was upgraded from second-degree murder to first. To talk more about this, I want to bring in a special guest. I'm joined right now by the Sheriff of Jefferson County, Dave Marshak, to talk more about this. Sheriff, first of all, thank you so much for coming here on Sidebar. Thank you so much for the work that you do, particularly with this kind of case. I know this can't be easy. It is unthinkable to kind of process what we're talking about here. What is your initial impressions of this case? And then we'll get into more specifics.
Well, obviously, how the case unfolded was disturbing from the onset. I think for the officers who continue to investigate, they continue to be surprised at some of the evil that they're witnessing. And of course, our seasoned investigators, they deal with a lot of violence, but at the same time, this was particularly disturbing for our people, and continues. They're very passionate about this investigation and getting to the bottom of it.
They look just
Can you talk
alike.
to us about how she showed up to the station and what she said?
Well, when she arrived Tuesday morning, she parked in the parking lot in her vehicle, casually walked in and approached the clerk. She was a little disheveled and some of her clothes were wet, but other than that, according to the video, when you look at it, it's just like a normal person walking into a business.
And what did she say?
Well, she approached the clerk first and shared that she had killed her 2 children. The clerk immediately ran back to where a detective and another police supervisor were sitting, and told them, that this person just walked into the lobby and claimed this. Now, from law enforcement circles, I don't want to say it's not uncommon, but because we deal with so many people with mental health issues, it's not extremely out of the ordinary to have somebody come into your law enforcement lobby who has a mental health issue or mental health crisis. So I think there was probably some disbelief and questioning at first, But the officers, multiple officers, quickly exited, including a detective, and ran out there to talk to her and interview her to see what was going on.
Did she give any indication about why she did this?
No, and it's too early to talk about some of those things. Everybody always wants to know the motive. How could this be? Why would this person do these things? And we're careful not to speculate on that. And of course, we don't want to disrupt anything that the prosecutor may want to use later. And so we're cautious about that. I will share with you that during the course of that interview, and with multiple officers, she did share that the daughter that she had shot was in the vehicle. And so one of the officers ran out to the vehicle to investigate, look in the vehicle, and saw the small child that had been shot, immediately unlocked the doors and was able to remove the child into the parking lot, and then start CPR, while the other officer, who happened to be a detective, started making inquiries in terms of where the other child was, and that's how other law enforcement agencies, including ours, received the information to immediately and urgently respond to that location to start investigating.
This is crazy. Definitely some mental health issues here. I'd be like, what makes anybody kill their kid? There's so much like that you just don't know. It's so sad. They look so adorable, and they all look like just look like the mom, and they all look like they were just so happy, so cute. And you see little baby pictures. I can't even imagine like somebody drowning a baby like that. Shooting your 9-year-old child. She is so freaking adorable. Rest in peace. That's so freaking sad. And then what's really weird? That she didn't even take her to a hospital. She just went to the police station, left her in the car, didn't even go to the hospital. So I think a lot of this says a lot. This definitely says a lot. I guess the only thing you can say is that it's mental, because it's like, why else would anybody do that? Like, if there wasn't a problem something going on up there are just some evil people who really just despise kids, their own kids, and want to kill them. I just don't know. This is really heartbreaking to hear. And the fact that she, like I'm saying, I'm just still weird that even if she had like an inch of remorse, they said she looked like a normal person walking in, probably wasn't even mentally there. So that's just a lot to think about.
Do you have any idea about when the children were killed, or what succession? Was it who was shot? Who was, was it Isaac that was thrown in the fountain first? Was it Scarlett who was shot second? Do you know how long before that gunshot?
Yeah, so
Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so part of the investigative process, as you can imagine, with technology today, is our investigators continue to comb through an unbelievable amount of data, including everything from Ring doorbell cameras, surveillance systems on businesses. One of the standards for law enforcement is some location services and using Google Maps, and try to work backwards on a timeline. From what we have right now, and we do have some evidence that really kind of pinpoints it, a little after 9:15 in the morning is when the incident happens in St. Francis County, where we believe the 9-year-old daughter was shot. And we also have evidence to suggest that the boy was with him at the time. She arrived at the Festus police station a little over an hour later, but we also have evidence to put her in the area of Festus around 9:45 in the morning.
Do we know why Isaac was in that fountain of that resort? Was there any connection between this mother and that resort?
Again, the investigation is ongoing, and I think more pieces will fall into place later. I try not to talk about evidence necessarily, and of course, for the prosecution, but at the same time, there are some knowns because of the probable cause statements and the affidavits that have been completed by law enforcement. She is familiar with the area. She grew up in the area. She might have had some different residences, but I think there's, I don't know that there's any specific reason she was at that particular resort. other than, there is from the incident where the original incident happened to the Festus police station, it's about halfway.
They're talking about the like why he was there. What if it was like theory? What if it was like, parents, like there are parents who do this. They lure their kids and try to, like, if they did something before, try to apologize, or they be like, let's go out and have a good day, and they do all that, and then you like kill them there. You know what I mean? I'm saying that there are people that like they do it in a specific area because they know their kids will want to go. He was found in a resort fountain. That's just unthinkable. And for a mother to do that, I always say I really don't care when it comes to mental health. I'm sorry. There's just people go through a lot, okay? I get that. People go through a lot. But when you kill your own kids, that's another story. That's another story, okay? When you kill anybody, that's another story. But your own kids, there's a level of, like, evil that you can't come back from. And that's where she's at. You drown a baby, a 2-year-old baby. That little girl shot her, didn't take her to the hospital. You took her to the police station to turn yourself in. Definitely... I definitely agree that there's like something there, but I'm so curious about what it is. But you know what's weird? I say I never care about mental health and stuff like that when it comes to murder, okay? When it comes to murder, you kind of still wonder what is it that's making their brain tick and make them think like that, because those pictures, they look so happy. So when did it like turn? Was she alone? Where was the dad? Because they're probably not together. Was it that she just can't do it no more? There's so many questions.
And what about her? Do we know about her criminal record, her past, her history, anything like that?
There's no major law enforcement indicators per se. The past has been some minor violations, but nothing significant that would have alerted law enforcement as to a potential problem.
Yeah, our understanding is, according to a probable cause statement, she pulled off the road near a lake or pond where she allegedly shot her daughter. There was video footage that showed a vehicle near that scene, and witnesses have reported hearing gunshots from the location. Have you had? Again, I know there's only so much you can talk about. I guess the question.
Look, you don't want to think about it. You shouldn't, but I can't help but picture it, because, and that's. It actually, it's insane to know that she pulled over to a lake to shoot her daughter. Like, myself, the way I look at stuff, and it's a really dark way to look at stuff, but I'm okay. I picture it, and I'm like, just if you picture a mother shooting her like 9-year-old little girl by a lake when there's nobody near you, the little girl crying, horrified. This is your mother, the woman that birthed you, the woman that's supposed to trust, and you're supposed to love her. She's supposed to love you, take care of you, nourish you, and that's the person who killed you. That is absolutely insane. It's absolutely menace. When you think of it like that, yeah, they need to throw her away. I'm sorry, throw this woman away. That's when you actually picture it like that, you can really see the true evil. I have no remorse for this woman, none whatsoever. I don't really care what she got going on. You killed your kids, so gruesome. I don't care, and this definitely should be charged with the. I think parents who kill their kids should be they should be in another bar, like another level of sentencing, because that's truly evil. Was that like okay?
That people might be wondering, and if you could help clarify, at this point, are you confident, if you can tell us, was this an isolated crime, and was she working by herself, or was there anybody else that might have been a part of this? Is there anybody else does the community have to be concerned at this point?
No, absolutely not. Look, Jefferson County is a safe community. It's a bedroom community.
They said about every county.
As a matter of fact, in 2023, our homicide rate was the lowest per capita in the entire St. Louis region.
Don't mean it's safe.
Particularly when you travel south into the end of our county, it tends to be more rural, even though it's considered the suburbs. And so we continue to have a safe community. This is what I would call...
Sorry, y'all. Let me let y'all know. This BS. There's no such thing as a safe community. There are people anywhere, everywhere, capable of anything. These cases I got to do just told me everything. There are people that's crazy. They can do anything at any moment. You never know what nobody's thinking. That's what makes it scary. There's no such thing as a safe place. Now, there are some worse places than other places. Guess we can say it like that. But there's no such thing as a safe neighborhood. You just never know. It's just unknown until something happens, unfortunately. But there are some less dangerous areas. Okay, maybe there are some safe areas. Maybe it's because what I be seeing. I'm like, the way I look at stuff, I'm like, there's some crazy people anywhere. People kill people up in like safe neighborhoods. Just because you got the lowest rate murder capita or lower crime, whatever, that doesn't mean anything. That just mean y'all didn't catch it. So yeah, I told y'all the way I think is not good.
Classify as a isolated incident. For whatever reason, the victims were specifically targeted, for lack of better terms. And we don't see this as being a danger to the rest of the community. In terms of the investigation, we're working backwards to get an accurate timeline. And that timeline will also dictate and let us know who she was with, who she was visiting with, the hours and days preceding this. So those interviews will be conducted to shed some light in terms of the things that were preceding this event.
And obviously, I know you can't reveal what the conversations were, but just to confirm, was she interviewed by law enforcement, and was she open with law enforcement, or did she, if you can tell us, decide to request a lawyer and she didn't really say anything? If there's anything you could tell us, has she spoken to law enforcement about what happened here?
She's been interviewed by law enforcement, and prior to Miranda, she made several statements, right, including the one in which she reported that she had killed her 2 children. So, I don't know, based on the information that I have now, that there'll be any other interviews. I feel like the investigative process will play out from here with external interviews and the data collection of evidence to put things together.
I wanted to ask your perspective on something else, and I'll give everybody a little bit of background here. So Scarlett, let's talk about these kids for a second. So Scarlett was due to start 4th grade in August. Her 3rd grade teacher, Abby Tinnen, posted what is a heartbreaking message about the little girl's death on Facebook, including photos of her with the 9-year-old girl. She wrote, quote, "Scarlett was a kind, bubbly, caring, and spunky little girl. She was always the first to join me in classroom karaoke. We had the best time laughing, singing, dancing around the room. She loved telling and writing stories. She loved playing softball and talking about her little brother. She could carry on a conversation with just about anyone. At the end of the year, the award I chose for her was the Squirrel Award because of her ability to gather people up who needed a friend and make them feel included." And according to Tinnen's post, Scarlett had recently been baptized and was excited to share the news with her teacher and friends at school. And as for Isaac, Scarlett's half-brother, who again was just 2 years old, his father wrote on Facebook, "My whole heart was ripped out. Where do I find the pieces to put myself back together when the most precious part of me was taken?" The Missouri State Highway Patrol dive team came in to help find the little boy's body. I can't imagine, Sheriff, something like that. Law enforcement rallying together to try to find Isaac, but also the community and what effect this has.
Yeah, and just for a point of clarification, the 2-year-old child was quickly recovered on scene by a sheriff's deputy who immediately started life-saving measures from that fountain that you mentioned. We did ask the assistance of the Missouri State Highway Patrol dive team to potentially locate any evidence near the shooting where it occurred in St. Francis County. So just a point of clarification there.
Yep.
In terms of the impact to this community, she was known in the community. Last night there was a candlelight vigil. She was expected to be playing softball over at some community fields, and hundreds of people turned out to mourn and hopefully start the recovery process. I don't have any.
It's always sad, everything is so sad when somebody passed away and they release balloons and everything. It's so beautiful. But don't hate me when I say this, y'all. I gotta say it real quick because I'm not like the. I took environmental anthropology. I know about the earth, okay? I recycle and stuff, but I just gotta say this because it's really irking me. I don't like when people, it's a beautiful sight, but I don't like when people release balloons or the lanterns because they go somewhere and you don't know where they go. So eventually they drop right back on the ground. So it's a beautiful sighting. I like it. People, it's just like releasing balloons, the sands, the heavens for the kids. But they're really not releasing. It's like they're coming right back down. That's just my climate post, okay? That's just my climate rant. But yeah, back to this is really heartbreaking.
Recommendations on what it takes for a community to recover from something like this. But it has impacted our community and certainly those families, and what a devastating tragedy that's happened.
Yeah, and separate GoFundMe pages have already raised several $1,000s to help go towards funeral expenses and anything else the family might need. Parmalee remains locked up in the Jefferson County Jail without bond. I mentioned before with respect to Isaac, her charge was upgraded from second-degree murder to first-degree murder. Can you tell us why?
Well, in the state of Missouri, the way the statute reads between second and first is, and some of your listeners may coordinate or correlate a murder first degree charge in the state of Missouri to something like capital punishment. But in the state of Missouri, there has to be a time of reflection and cool calculation. And I think from the initial investigation to where we're at now, is we now have evidence to suggest that there was this time lapse between, the time up for the prosecutor to review and believe that they have the evidence to charge a murder first, which is a more serious charge than the murder second.
And my understanding, it's, we're talking life in prison without the possibility of parole or even the death penalty, right, if she's convicted?
In the state of Missouri, we do have the death penalty. I don't know if this will meet the burden for that, and I'll leave that up to the prosecuting attorney. Sure. But look, I can share this with you. In Jefferson County, we're incredibly lucky to have a prosecuting attorney that is aggressive. And despite what you've heard about the St. Louis community and having a progressive prosecutor in the past, in Jefferson County, we're a law and order county, and our prosecutors are very aggressive. Because they want this community to be known as a law and order community. And I'm confident that we'll find resolution and success to start the justice process.
I appreciate you saying that, Sheriff, particularly in this case. I wanted to leave off, just if you can tell us how the family is doing. And I mentioned, Isaac's father made a statement. Have you gotten any insight from the family members about this woman, about this situation? Anything you can share? And we, of course, understand if you can't, but just how's the family doing, and have they given you any information?
Look, just the city of Festus, where this occurred, is a small community. It's less than 12,000. So a lot of people know each other. I will share with you, we've got probably 18 different detectives working on this case, who have coordinated and spoke with the family at different times based on what their particular investigative assignment is. I have not personally spoken with the family, and so I'm a little cautious about speculating what that looks like, but I can only imagine the devastation in this impact that it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Let me end with this. I'm just going to say, our hearts and our prayers go out to this family and the friends of these children, because it's a heartbreaking story to cover. But I want to thank you, Sheriff, and I want to thank your team and law enforcement for the work that you do each and every day, but particularly, as I said, with these kinds of cases, how difficult they are, and having to continue to investigate this and find out details what happened. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for coming on here on Sidebar. We really appreciate you giving us a little bit more context and perspective and details about what's happening here. But Sheriff Dave Morshak, thank you.
Thank you for having me, and I will leave you with this. This incident has brought light to the fact that our first responders continue to do amazing work every single day. And that goes from the dispatchers to the officers that provided CPR and tried life-saving measures to the medical examiner. These are difficult situations, and I would just ask for your listeners to take a moment to reflect on the job that they're doing and the difficult jobs they do every single day. And I would just ask that, and I appreciate you having me on.
It was a dark case, y'all. Really, really dark case. Anything dealing with children is just so dark, and it's really hard to talk about. Definitely agree. They do some amazing work. Detectives, as much as I talk about cops, they do the work people can't do. Detectives and officers, first responders, dispatchers, because I can't be on the phone call and trying to help somebody and trying to stay calm myself, trying to get them to safety and tell them what to do is a lot. I can't. That's a lot of therapy I would have to go to at that. It's a lot of heavy weight. They do some good jobs. I'm still thinking, y'all. Still thinking about forensic anthropology that I want to study, because I like to study bones. But being able to put pieces together and try to figure out the story just by bones would be really interesting to me. So I still been thinking about that kinda. Cause y'all know I just ain't going to grad school right now. I'm thinking about that in like a year or two because I need time to reflect on my life, trying to figure it out. But yeah, heartbreaking case. The mother definitely, that's crazy that she did this. It's weird, you know. I think when people do, you know, but they perform CPR or they try to bring them back with CPR, you learn how to do it. I'm certified. I got certified. I'm certified when I worked in the hospital, but you're never prepared to like actually do it. That's the thing. You're never prepared to like when that actually happens, and it's really scary when you actually have to do that. Think about them trying to perform CPR on that little girl who had a big shot wound, like she had a gun wound to her. So yeah, just very, very sad. Y'all, I don't even know. This was a mother who killed her kids. And I'm curious about like I want to see her interview if she said anything. Just for like a mother to do this, it's just it's so like I say, it's so there are so many cases recently like this, y'all. You'll be surprised. Y'all should follow their channel. All these crimes. There's just so many parents. I saw the one about the read about it. The picture, the woman who gave her child, her newborn or something, a bottle with bleach. Like, why would you intentionally try to harm a child, your own child? She looked like she was on drugs or something. We live with these people. Y'all ain't think about this. We live in a world with these like sickos, and I'm just getting so sick of it. I'm so tired of it. It's just never ending, and it's like really weird that it's never ending, and that these people are among us and they're able to have kids, and you know, but like it's weird because I still think something just like was in her head and like just told her to like kill her kids. I don't know. That's the thing, you know, when you're not mentally sane and all of a sudden everything's going good and then one thing leads to another, you just kill your kids and like end it and just go. But the fact that she walked in with like just like they said, like a normal person, one crying most likely, definitely mental and definitely deserve first degree 2 counts. Okay, death penalty for anybody who killed kids. I don't care. No remorse from this one. I don't care. You killed your kids, you're an evil human being in my eyes. I don't care story. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I have more videos to go record for you guys because we have so much crime to talk about because there's non-ending, just a never-ending array of horrific people in this world. They need to be put away. So on that note, I'll see you guys in the next video. Road to 700. Bye.